Okay, so they just released this entire text wall of whatever's going to come out in Town of Salem Season 5. I just copy pasted it here so you guys can see it better, but this is just me going over it. I didn't really read it, so this is going to be my initial reaction to whatever's going on. Town of Salem 2. R1500 Season 5 is live. Hey Townies, welcome to Season 5. This patch marks the end of Season 4, bringing us to Season 5 off season. So we're now going to be in like, what, 2 weeks grace period to learn what's going on, and then it becomes official? I think that's what happened last time. Please note, full patch notes are also in-game, on Steam, and a blog post. New cosmetics. Okay, so they're going to have a bunch of cosmetics, 20% off until July 10th. Pick it up. It supports the game. I'm not really too involved in these. It's just going to be, one of these things. Okay, new scrolls. Blessed and Cursed scrolls for Catalyst, Covenant, Cultist, Cursed Soul, Pilgrim, and Vampire. Okay. So obviously they're going to go over everything here, what every single thing they mentioned here is going to do. New roles, sub-alignment outlier. Okay, no idea what that does. Outlier is a brand new sub-alignment for Town, Coven, and Neutral. Okay, outlier roles will not be able to spawn naturally in games. Good. Okay, so they can't spawn naturally, so they have to be directly confirmed in a role deck. Okay, so all any is saved for now, at least for the time being. New role, Catalyst, Town Outlier. I'm a little worried. Catalyst has the ability to overcharge a player at night. This allows the player to use their ability twice during the following day or night. What does it mean use it twice? Like if I night, I get an extra night, or I get to night twice, for example, as a monarch. We're going to have to see how that works. It could be interesting. It could be a little bit too powerful. It could be a problem. It could be very weak. We don't know. New role, Cultist. Coven Outlier. Cultist has the ability to convert a member of the town into the Coven faction. Okay, so it could work in a role deck because everybody is confirmed, so you can like get a town trader, sort of. Unlike a town trader, this converted townie will be able to wield the Necronomicon. Ah, okay, so that's what makes it a little bit different. New role, Pilgrim, Town Outlier. Pilgrim is a standard townie with no abilities. What? What the fuck? What? New role, Covenant, please. God damn it. Covenant is a standard Coven member with no abilities. They can wield the Necronomicon to kill at night. You know what? At least it can hold the Necronomicon. So at least it can do something. Not saying it's a good role, but I guess because it can't spawn in all any, so it'll be fine. Game updates. New mode, Casual. In Casual, players in the lobby will vote for which role deck they would like to play from a curated pool. The role deck with the most votes wins. Okay, so it's gonna work like it does in modded, but the thing is, people play modded because there isn't a all-any version. It's pretty much either custom or the deck roll thing, which a lot of people say that if modded had a all-any, it wouldn't really see too much play with the deck roll lists. I know that people are going to say that I'm making things up, but I remember people spamming in chats of waiting rooms for modded how they wish it was just an all-any, true all-any. And true all-any is kind of popular. So take it for what you will. The pool of role decks in Casual will be updated frequently. Okay. It's an interesting way to play it. I don't know how popular that mode will be if all any is left to stay in the game. Town Trader has been removed as a standalone mode. The problem with Town Trader is that you never knew when it was on, and when it was on, you wouldn't know if the players who are on are like vibing to Town Trader. So if they kept Town Trader as a, you know, a static mode, maybe that would be a little bit more interesting, but I cannot say what's going to happen with this. It's like new charted territory. Ranked practice is now features the same role deck voting system as casual. Okay. Does nothing. A variety of test lists will be active, allowing us to collect data on balance and which versions of ranked players are most interested in. I think this would work well with ranked practice because, you know, people are going to be tryharding a little bit more. And it's not just the same list over and over and over again. We'll see what's going to happen. Okay, every 2 weeks, All Any will be replaced for the weekend with an alternative All Any mode. Stay tuned to see what they are. Okay. Nothing burger. New roll deck mechanic, dual buckets. You can now add 2 roll buckets into the same slot of a roll deck, creating a dual bucket. Okay, so yeah, I got it. So an example of this would be a neutral apocalypse or neutral killing. Dual bucket allows any rolls from either to spawn from the same slot. Okay. So it basically puts in a little bit more guesswork. That's actually a really good thing. New modifier election. Oh no. Before trial begins in a day, the town will be able to elect a player as a sovereign. The results of the election is based on plurality. I know what it means, it's just not a word I use too often. Instead of majority, meaning the player with the most votes by the end of the election will win, even if they don't have majority. Okay. The election will only occur if there is not a currently alive sovereign. The sovereign will gain +2 votes. Okay, so it's like a little bit of a mayor monarch situation. If they are a member of the town faction, they will no longer be able to use their abilities. If they are not, their abilities will now be astral. Oh, if they are not, their abilities will now be astral. Copy pasted it a little bit wrong. Maybe this was meant to be like a little bit of an enter or whatever. New modifier, grace period. Okay, grace period. I think I know what it does based off of the name. Night 1, nothing. All abilities I can kill are disabled during the first night. Sure, this would work well with friends because then there's no guesswork. You just can't kill. The Necronomicon will not appear until the start of the second day. Okay, that makes things a little bit intriguing because now Sheriff is a little bit stronger because they can find the guy with who would hypothetically have the Necronomicon usually. No Necronomicon, 1 extra person to find from, so hypothetically the odds of finding somebody rises from 3 out of 15 to 4 out of 15 to find Coven Night 1. Interesting. Whatever. New modifier, all outliers. I think I know where this is going. Outlier rolls can now spawn in all random buckets. I'm not a big fan of the outliers, to be honest. You need a roll that can do something. That's what I believe. Clickable buttons, Night 1 makes a roll really, really, really good. I've mentioned this in my Let's Have a Discussion series so far. I plan on going back to it ASAP. I've just been busy with recovering from a surgery for the past 2+ weeks. So I'm doing well. Outlier rolls can now spawn in random buckets. Yes. General changes. Fully overhauled the game guide. A 6-lesson visual tutorial on the game has been added. I don't know how you know, maybe it helps. I have a different idea for what would help, but 6 lessons, you're better off just watching a bunch of people like Pipetron or my friend London. London has a great, my friend London TOS has a great series where he goes over how to play each role, and it really, 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 really goes thoroughly through everything you need to know, at least as a beginner. Like, obviously, London doesn't go through all like the intricate stuff and hidden abilities that sometimes you can miss because he's human. He makes not I wouldn't say mistakes, but he can gloss over certain things. But overall, they're really good. So if you want to learn how to play the game, I would recommend going to London TOS. If you want to understand better how to be a better modded player, go check out my other friend, Dill the Chicken. He has amazing videos. Every single day he uploads. It's phenomenal. He's really good. If you want to learn how to understand ranked, I would also recommend my friend Captain Niles. He is very good at that. The info guide has been heavily expanded, updated. You know what? Too early to call it, but I want to see what it is. The roles guide. I would say role guide and not roles guide. The roles guide has received visual upgrades. I'll see what it is. The keywords guide now lets you filter by keyword type. Okay, that's interesting. The way I would do keywords is I would have it indexed according to what you use the most. Have, let's say, a flag that if you use a certain keyword a lot, like bread or the ... it would show up first, so that it would index its way up fast, so you can actually, spam certain things. Not spam in this bad sense, but spam in speed-wise. That's what I meant. So the keywords guide now lets you filter by keyword type. Interesting. Crystal now has a silhouette. Everybody's getting a silhouette before the freaking tracker. Okay. Style Crystal, color Crystal, style. Yeah, have now been factioned. Okay. Poison or Smog UI has been updated to make it more clear that you cannot attack with the Necronomicon while using it. That's a good thing for starters, because a lot of people who are starting off the game do not understand that you cannot use ability and attack. I think that's a very good change. Role icons have been added to various interfaces, such as in-game role list and bucket display lists. Okay. Quality of life, but I dig it. The Rolodex Builder UI now shows the total modifiers in a list. I wonder if they updated it that you can add more roles that you can not spawn in, because that 3 is just not enough. Sydney seems suspicious. Okay. Oh, feedback message that specifies your target will now directly reference your target by name. I don't quite get it, but I guess that once I start using it, I'll get it. You said that Curtis and Tuba seem to be enemies. Okay, cute. Added more abbreviations for quick mentioning roles and buckets. Okay, so TP would obviously show up as Town Power, or I mean Town Protective. Added witches, you cannot control someone 2 nights in a row message to accommodate control immune roles. Okay. Once again, this is a kind of stuff that helps new players. Like, seasoned players know exactly what's going on, so it doesn't really help them that much. Cinematics can now have special variations depending on a player's map. Okay. I dig it, but cosmetics is, just okay. A lot of people actually would prefer to even have less cinematics. Like, when I'm playing, not recording, I usually just shut off the cinematics because it just pisses me off. Check out the new Mafia map in action. Once again, Mafia map is one of those things where it's like, what's the point? Mafia doesn't exist in Town of Salem 2, so it's like, it's just a nod to Town of Salem 1. The only people who are going to enjoy it are people who played Town of Salem 1. Personal opinion. Added lobby icons from Traders in Salem and Town of Salem 1 to custom. Lobby icons don't really do much. If you wanted to add the skins and stuff from Traders in Salem, that would be a little bit more interesting. Added special voting music that plays during casual voting elections and tribunal. Once again, we're going to see where that goes because I don't know what this music is. Updated various messages to make it clear that you are in tribunal instead of regular voting. Okay. So when you're in a tribunal, you're going to know that you're in a tribunal. Interesting. The selection music soundtrack is no longer cut off early. So they fixed that. Once again, the only people who really matters to are content creators because they want their videos to be as perfect as possible. To the regular person, they don't really care about the music. They actually prefer to shut off the music. They prefer to like listen to their own songs. That's just a personal opinion. Role blurbs have been added to Role Revival Cinematic. Oh, Role Reveal, sorry. Okay. Doesn't really change the game that much. Dead players are no longer announced as disconnected. So what are they announced as? Just dead? The roll deck ban and modifier limits have been increased from 3 each to 10 each. I don't know what that means. Let's read that again. The roll deck ban and modifier limits. Oh, wait. I do know what that means. That's exactly what I wanted. 3 to 10? It should be unlimited. It should be one of those things where you can just pick and choose. It's a good start going from 3 to 10 because everybody has at least 6 or 7 rolls they just don't want to see while they're playing with their friends. But, you know, it is what it is. This is actually exactly what we wanted. Okay. Very good. Renamed floor decorations to center decorations means nothing. Please note the Mafia pack may take some time to populate on all platforms. If you don't see it yet, please check it back soon. Thank you. Happy Season 5. Thank you so much for your support and feedback. After you've played a few games on this patch, please let us know your new feedback, Digital Banditos. So, I'm going to say that the majority of it is okay. A lot of it is just nothing burgers. The one thing I really don't like, well, there are a few things I don't like, but I'm going to go back and I'm going to talk about the things I really don't like. I do not like the outlier sub-alignment that much off the bat. I just think that the first one is okay. The catalyst is fine because, you know, it at least does something. The question is, can it do it more than once or can it only do it once? Because if it can do it every night, then you're just going to have, you know, vigilantes who are just going to kill multiple times. And if it can only do it once, then it's just going to be one of those things where people are going to be like, okay, I used it once, now I'm just going to be a sitting duck for the rest of the game. I'm not the biggest fan of how they do it. The cultist is interesting because at least you get to add somebody, and then you go from a 4-person team to a 5-person team, so you're suddenly... You're buying 2 knights, actually, the more I think about it, because the way that the cultist would work is basically you're going from a +1 to +2, because you're technically killing somebody, and you're reversing the amount of kills that you need going down from 11 to 9, because you have one more person on your team for voting power during the day. It's actually a little bit nuts. The cultist is a little bit too powerful. The Catalyst is a little less powerful. It's interesting. I think that the Catalyst being able to overcharge players who are confirmed would be a little bit of a problem, but that's just, you know, an off-the-bat thing that I'm thinking. Overall, the outlier, definitely I need to test it out because I have no clue how it feels. It's one thing to just run your mouth reading the text, and it's another thing to actually play the game and, you know, get to know something. So, I don't know. But the roll deck thing is just going to be, the casual mode is just going to be one of those things that just doesn't really matter because everybody's just going to flock to all any as is. So, the more I think about it, the outlier roles is just going to be more fun for people who have friends to play with and they can get like actual lobbies going. And casual is going to be there. It's probably going to get like a game once every like 15 minutes. And everybody's just going to flock to all any. Mark my words. This is just going to be the way it works. Dual buckets is obviously more options for making custom games is always going to be better, especially when you can have the custom games work to your favor as a deck build, as a not deck builder, but as a list builder, because then you can suddenly have either neutral evils or neutral killings. You can have neutral apocalypse or an extra coven. Like, there is a lot of ways to mess around with it. I like it. I think it's good. Overall, is it a insane update? I'm gonna say something that's going to piss a lot of people off. And the truth is, I don't think it's that insane. I think it's good. It's just they put too much emphasis on the outlier and casual mode, when the only reason that they think that it would work is because it works in modded, because Tuba and Curtis just off the bat decided that there's just not going to be true Oleni as a default in modded. So I don't know. Maybe I'm dead wrong. That is also quite possible, you know. But I'm just saying, as a player, I'm never going to go out of my way and pick casual, because I know for a fact that casual is going to have 5 people there, and they're always going to be coming into Oleni, asking people to come into casual. They're going to say, come into casual, we have 6 players. Come into casual, we have 9 players. I've just been around the block enough where I know that the names change, but the streets remain the same. You know that old saying? The one thing I think would make things interesting is if they changed Vampire to how it works in modded, especially after I begged Tuba and Curtis back then. Well, not Curtis, but Tuba. I remember going into his chat and saying, can we fix Vampire? I remember doing this in Prox. Great guy. I remember complaining in his chat once, and Tuba was there, and within like 2 weeks, suddenly the things I was saying was in the game. I don't know if I contributed to it, but I definitely think that when he read it, he saw that there was more demand for Vampire to work that way, and they just decided to speed up what they were probably doing before. I think that's actually more possible. But I remember definitely complaining about this in Proxies and in Tuba's chat in the past. And it definitely saw change as a role, and I think that would work well in the new Oleni, because a Vampire's biggest weakness was the fact that it just didn't do too much night after night after night. And by the time you made it to like night 6, you know, it was very rare for vampires to have enough power to overthrow everything. Like, obviously vampires won, but like, it didn't feel powerful, and modded Vampire does feel powerful. I think that should be something they should take into consideration. Overall, how much would I rate this update? I'm going to be brutally honest, 6 out of 10. It's okay. We're going to see how things work out. Isn't uncharted territory, because we definitely have information from modded about how a lot of things would work, but I don't know how things would work in vanilla, because that the type of players who go to vanilla and the type of players who go to modded are vastly different, especially the type of players who can play modded. They always go after whatever is there, and they choose a Rolodex and they think it's fun. And the Rolodex are fun in modded, but that's because that also there's a combination of the players who play in modded play that way, so that it is fun. That is just a brutal, honest truth. And I'm going to just say I'm very disappointed in one thing, that they still didn't fix the whole pirate windscreen not locking you out from the game. I think that is still absurd, that the pirate windscreen locks you from the game for the duration of the cinematic. I think that's ridiculous. And yeah, that's about it.